What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Lineman Football, and today's video I'm going to be telling you guys about the dead ball snap. Okay, so what are my issues with the main style snap? Now this is all personal. Some people prefer different ways for very specific reasons, and I completely understand that. But the issue I had, my grade 10 year, was that this isn't a regulation size ball. This is just the one I have down here right now. It's obviously a little too small, but I'll use it for demonstration purposes. Okay, so the issues I had were, first off, I have little baby hands. Nothing I can do about that. So that's why I was always wearing gloves. But at the same time, I still didn't have really big hands to try and wrap my hands around the football like I can with this little one. So I didn't have the best grip getting the ball back there, especially in wet conditions or when the ball started to get really covered in like a dry dust and it made it almost chalky and really hard to grab. Also, in pressure situations, the problem I was having is when I was snapping it straight back, I was turning my wrist and my elbows were hitting the insides of my knees and that kind of stuff. So if the quarterback's here, the ball was going here and here and here and here. It was completely everywhere. Okay, so then one day I was told about the dead ball snap and how popular it was becoming in CFL to start, and then also in other places. So what the dead ball snap basically is when instead of grabbing the ball like you do here, normally kind of like that, is you grab it like this. Now the reason I liked this was because, first off, grabbing like this made it go straight back. So if you're like this, you can turn your arm either direction. As soon as you rotate in, you can't really turn it without it hurting. So all you could basically do was go grab the ball and go straight back with the ball. So that made it incredibly accurate for me. Those were the two reasons I really like the dead ball snap, is because first off, in pressure situations, it took me out of my own head of having to worry about how my arm was going to hit off certain stuff, especially say if I was trying to snap quick and move. It made it a lot easier, whereas sometimes, if I tried to snap quick, my elbow would hit my knee or something like that, and then it'd go everywhere. So very useful for those two reasons. Now there are a couple cons with this. The first one is quarterbacks. This is the one that I actually credit. So usually a quarterback is used to catching a ball like this, right? They're basically making the diamond shape like their receiver. But now with the dead ball snap, because it's coming just straight back at them like this, they have to get used to catching it like this and catching it in the air like that. So it is a little different for them to get used to. Some quarterbacks don't like the dead ball snap. Basically, I say to them, too bad. The reason is, my quarterback, yes, he might not have liked the dead ball snap, but also at the same time, he had to admit that the season before, I was incredibly inaccurate with the other way of snapping, so he'd rather have a clean snap where he knew it was going to be every time, rather than a snap which he'd have to be looking for in the air, especially when you're running really fast-paced stuff like jets and really quick counters, that kind of stuff. Now, the other one people say, as far as the dead ball snap, is speed, which I actually don't agree with. I think if you can master the technique of firing it straight back and getting your timing point really good, the dead ball snap can be just as quick as another snap. Now, it can't be completely as quick because it's coming like this. There's more air resistance this way than there is when it's cutting through like that. So I understand where it can't be completely as fast. Okay, now if you're liking the dead ball style snap, here's a couple tips for you about what I see some people messing it up in certain ways. First off, one thing they're doing is, if this is the ground, they're putting the ball on the ground like this, and then they're dragging it across the ground, and then by the time they're getting back, it's flicking. So the first thing you want to do if you're dead ball snapping, put the ball firmly in the ground with your wrist cocked like that. Okay? That'll get rid of all dragging and that kind of stuff from happening. The second is, I see people, when they're doing this, they get back here, then they flick their wrist, and then the ball basically comes like that to the quarterback. You don't want to have any flick in your wrist. So there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed that video today. Again, if you liked that video, please hit that like button. Also, let me know what you think about the LF hoodies. I'm thinking about making these. We'll see what happens, though. I actually think they're pretty sick. So leave your comments down below. If you have any other video ideas, please share, like the video as always, and thanks.